Good afternoon, fellow patriots. Today is a bright and sunny day, and the date is October 20th, 1779. Welcome to Revolutionary Radio. Today we have a very well-known and noble man, Thomas Paine, joining us today. He's the author of Common Sense, a certainly compelling and noble document that informed the courageous men just like you why they should join the revolution. Now, in the aftermath of the Declaration of Independence, we would like to hear your knowledge on the reasoning behind the revolution.
Why, hello. Good day to you.
Good day, and welcome to Revolutionary Radio, Mr. Paine. I feel as if everyone knows of your work, but not much of the man behind it. Would you agree?
Certainly so. I wrote the pamphlet because I knew my ideas should be heard to help inform the common people of why separation from England is not only achievable, but inevitable. More than anything, I despise the ridiculous fools who give England more credit than they deserve. King George, self-proclaimed Pharaoh of England, has treated us intolerably.
Fascinating. Tell me a bit about your pamphlet, Common Sense.
I knew that others needed to know. In Common Sense, I write, now is the seed time of continental union, faith, and honor. I wrote, the least fracture now will be like a name engraved in with the point of a pen on the tender rind of a young oak. The wound will enlarge with the tree, and posterity read in full-grown character. I meant that if we act now, our actions will be of great effect to our future. If we do not, our oppressed circumstances will only grow worse.
I could not agree more, Mr. Paine. Why do you feel that your pamphlet has been such a big success amongst men?
I am delighted and amazed at the progress that this small document has caused. I believe it has been a success because the common man needs information about the revolution and the rational thinking behind it.
I agree. I am sure you deserve every praise. Now tell me, Mr. Paine. Much complaint and questioning has been lodged on the use of violence against Great Britain. What is your opinion on the matter?
We, colonists and citizens of America, are completely justified in using violence in our revolution. This is because our cause of freedom is just and deserving. We have no other lawful way to oppose their oppression of us, and we feel that we are no longer a system belonging to England. But yet, we are now a continent being governed by an island. This is preposterous! Therefore, without our use of violence in our revolution against Britain, America may never gain her freedom.
Please tell me more.
What could be a better cause than freedom from oppression? In the words of Thomas Jefferson, men are endowed with the unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How can any of these things be pursued without freedom? Who can say that our pursuing paths of violence and our goal to be free of the rule of the British Empire is unjust or unnecessary, when in fact it is what must be done? We have been subject to intolerable acts placed upon us by King George and Parliament. We are no longer allowed to rightfully try our citizens in the Americas. We are no longer allowed to have ships enter or leave our Boston harbor. The Quartering Act has forced soldiers upon our quiet domesticities, a complete invasion of our homes and our privacy. Officers can be tried elsewhere from the places of their crimes, leading often to their freedom thanks to uninformed and sympathetic jurors. We do not have the right to have more than one town meeting, or any sort of meeting, even one innocently meant, in a year, without the approval of our governor, parliament, or ruthless king. As they fear, we will revolt. Now, thanks to these injustices, we will. Now is our time to revolt for freedom, and it could not be more deserved by us.
Is the pursuit of violence necessary? There are no other diplomatic solutions? Do not mistake my meaning, sir. I wholeheartedly believe in the revolution, but as a man who values life and God, is violence the only way we can achieve our goals?
I believe it is. The king has not only done these intolerable things to us, he has taxed us unfairly on goods such as tea and sugar, and has forced us to have a stamp which states that we have paid this ridiculous tax.
What measures have been taken to attempt a diplomatic release from our British bondage?
Men of all stations have joined the fight, for different reasons and with different designs on how we shall achieve our freedom. All have been ineffectual, as I have stated in my work. The time for debate is over. There is no other way we can accomplish our goals. We have petitioned, boycotted, even begged for our freedom. Parliament has refused to negotiate with us, and instead has hired foreigners, German mercenaries, Hessians, to help crush our rebellion.
You are so noble, Mr. Paine. I could not agree more. Britain has treated us unjustly, and the Parliament will have nothing to do with our cause. Those German mercenaries and Hessians are a weak excuse for Britain's soldiers. Before I read your pamphlet, I knew not which way to turn. Now I understand why the revolution must succeed. We must sever our ties from England.
Yes, yes. Now is the time to part from England. We cannot have any partial connection with any part of it. England is like a snake biting America's ankle. Although small and sneaky, we must rid ourselves of it before it poisons us. We have tried all other alternatives. Now we must fight.
I wholeheartedly agree. How do you believe that the Declaration of Independence has changed things? How much longer do you believe that our war against Britain will last? Certainly things must end soon. Do you not agree?
The Declaration symbolizes the real fight for freedom. It is a symbol of the fact that our fight is not just a bunch of dim-witted adolescents complaining of their parents. We are the citizens of America, and we are fighting for what we rightfully deserve. We are no longer a small, sickly colony without a guide other than England.
That is certainly irrefutable. Do you not agree that we are beginning to outgrow our British ties? It seems as if they are a parent grasping too tight on their growing children's hand, and we have grown too big to stand still.
We are a continent. England, no matter how big it tries to seem, is but an island. It is no coincidence that nature has made our continent larger than our original home. It is evident that we belong to different systems. As I say in common sense, England to Europe, America to itself, I mean that we do not belong with England or Europe. This is part of the reason why it is so difficult to be governed by England, for both parties.
What is your meaning?
To carry a petition or a tale over the ocean to England takes 4 or 5 months, then 6 more to explain it, and after a few more months, our message or document will eventually be ignored. I specifically chose the words folly and childishness in common sense, as that is how they are treating us. We are treated like dim-witted children who do not know what we are doing. In fact, we do. This violence against Britain is necessary. Now is our time. What kind of system of government is this? What kind of order can we have in our towns if it remains this way? No, we must gain freedom from England. It is the proper time for us to act, and there will be a proper time for our fight to cease. I will ask again, as I have in my work. I challenge the one who believes reconciliation with England is the answer. Tell a single advantage that this continent can reap by being connected with Great Britain. I repeat the challenge, not a single advantage is derived. I repeat, since we have no choice but to revolt against Britain, we have no choice but to use violence in our attempts to do so. There is no other way. I wish to cease both the arguments that our desire for freedom is unfounded and that violence is not justified.
I see your point. We must use violence in our revolution.
Yes, I hate unnecessary death as much as the next God-fearing man, but I know that this fight and the violence we use is not unnecessary. It is, in fact, the most necessary.
1,000 thanks for coming to interview, sir. I think the points you have made are irrefutable.
I do not pretend to own any knowledge that I do not, but I thank you for your compliment. And I agree, the points I have made are irrefutable. We, the colonists, are completely justified in using violence in our revolution. There is no other way, or any reason that our fight is unworthy. In fact, there are a million reasons why our fight is most worthy.
Yes, it is.
I can only hope that our fight may perhaps lead to everlasting freedom in America.
Indeed. Well, greatest thanks to you, Mr. Payne. It was certainly a pleasure to have you.